This poem is To Earthward by Robert Frost. Robert Frost is a renowned poet who has to deal with a lot of narrative structure in nature diction. The poem itself has a rhyme scheme of A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D, and 8 quatrains. It is also told from a first-person structure and shifts from past to future tense. Our interpretation for this poem is that it is about a man who dies of alcoholism from drinking too much. But the man, he is reincarnated as an alien and comes back down to Earth, but he also discovers that he has negative reactions with the objects and things that he would have common in his daily life.
Love at the lips was touch, as sweet as I could bear, and once that seemed too much, I lived on air.
In the first stanza, the first line, "Love at the lips was touch," is a metaphor. Also in this line, the touch refers to the character touching the ground and making his last imprints as a man. The second line, "As sweet as I could bear," is a simile. The sweet is in the line refers to the alcohol that he has been drinking, and that once seemed too much is referring to the character consuming that maximum amount of alcohol that he can. In the last sentence, "I lived on air" is him taking his last breath before he dies.
That crossed me from sweet things, the flow of, was it musk? From hidden grapevine springs, downhill at dusk.
For the second stanza in the first line, "That crossed me from sweet things" represents him changing into the alien, and also that he no longer has those sweet things that he loved, or the alcohol. The flow of "wasn't musk," there is a pause in which the character stops to question what he is sensing, and starts to recognize it as familiar from his past life. The grapevine springs in the third line represent the wine that he drank and died from.
I had the swirl and ache from sprays of honeysuckle, that when they're gathered, shake, dew on the knuckle.
There's a plethora of imagery in the stanza, and there is also a transition in tone to much more negative. At this point, the character has already been reincarnated and is somewhat familiarized himself with Earth again. The sprays of honeysuckle represent the nectar out of a flower. That when they're gathered, shake, dew on the knuckle represents his bad reaction to the nectar.
I craved strong sweets, but those seemed strong when I was young. The petal of the rose it was that stung.
For the fourth stanza, Frost writes, "I crave strong sweets, but those seemed strong when I was young." The strong sweets, which is the alcohol, is something that he craved when in his past life. Frost goes on to say, "But those seemed strong when I was young," meaning the character no longer has the urge and addiction to drink. The petal of the rose it was that stung is the nectar from the flower continuing to give him a bad reaction.
Now no joy but lacks salt that is not dashed with pain, and weariness and fault I crave the stain.
In this stanza, the tense of the poem changes from past tense to the future tense. In the first two lines, "Now no joy but lack of salt, that is not dashed with pain." The salt represents the pain being inflicted on him, like how salt stings on an open cut. Then the last two lines, "And weariness and fault, I crave the stain," is the character becoming content with the pain he now deals with in his new life as an alien.
Of tears the aftermark of almost too much love, the sweet of bitter bark and burning clove.
Of tears, the aftermark is the character's happiness by experiencing the pain. It goes on to say, "Of almost too much love, the sweet of bitter bark," which are two paradoxes. The too much love is the newfound overjoy from the pain he feels and enjoys on Earth. Based on some outside research that we did, we found that in some cultures, burning clover is actually a way to de-stress. So we took this as an attempt by the alien to calm himself down on Earth.
When stiff and sore and scarred, I take away my hand from leaning on it hard in grass or sand.
There is alliteration in the first line with the words stiff, sore, and scarred, and also a lot of imagery within the stanza. The stiff and sore and scarred is the alien describing his pain from the reactions he is getting from the flower's nectar. I take away my hand from the leaning on it hard, in grass or sand, is a representation of him becoming weak from the things he is touching on earth.
The hurt is not enough. I long for weight and strength. To feel the earth as rough to all my length.
For the last stanza, the first line, the hurt is not enough. This is referring to the alien's recollection of the pain and how he thinks he still isn't feeling enough pain. The second line, I long for weight and strength, refers to the character wanting his strength back and to feel his weight on the earth rather than the pain. To feel the earth as rough to all my length are the last two lines of the stanza. Our interpretation was that the alien is not giving up on feeling the earth, even though he must go through the pain to do so. To all my length refers to the alien stretching out as far as he possibly can to experience and sense the world, pain and all.
Yo, Pierre, you want to come out here?
It's gonna go with the movers.
Hey! Oh! There's Matt! Kill it! Kill it! Kill it! Kill it! Kill it! Caleb! Kill the freaking ant! Kill it! Oh my god!
Now are you ready to shoot? I'm letting go.
Caleb! What are you drinking?
Caught me red-handed.
That coffee from Sweet Things, the flow of was it must? You're going way too far and the camera's fogged up as hell. Why is it so blurry? Look at it. If you go in swimming, you look like you got a fogged up.
So what are we doing now?
Stop spraying. What the heck?
Mask on, get mask on, mask on, get mask on, Percocet, Miley Percocet.
I'll be dripping head to toe everywhere I can go. I try 40 racks a show. I could go face on your
Now no joy but lacks salt, that is not dashed with pain.
I got junkies at the dough. I got junkies at the dough.
Is that it? Is that the one?
Everywhere I can go. I try 40 racks a show. I could go face on your hoe. I got junkies at the dough. I got junkies at the dough. I got
Stop.
Whoa. What are you doing?
Why you got a workbench and you still not fit?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Gymnastics, got a bust out on my wrist. It look like I took a piss, so you cannot